Today I'll be demonstrating complex problem solving using the tetrahedron. It's the simplest 3D shape we can make, so I'll use it to demonstrate the simplest part of an idea. Now, we have a simple issue here. There's one aspect to it. We might just focus on this issue, but if we change our perspective, even just slightly, we'll see a response to it. Or maybe we can find multiple responses by just manipulating that issue in itself. Now, here we have a more complex idea with multiple subsystems. Now, if we manipulate this whole object, like we do with our simple case, we don't find a response to everything. Maybe one thing, maybe two, but no. So what do we do here? We use the first of our complex design thinking toolbox, and we use divergent thinking. Now, these blue tack bonds are like the bonds between the ideas, in that they're not in any way indestructible. They aren't stuck permanently. They can be taken apart, put back together, moved around. So, if we look at what we have here, we can respond to some aspects, but not all. We have something missing. Now, this is all we have given to us at the moment. Well, what can we do? We can use our second design thinking tool, and we can do some brainstorming. We can dump some more ideas in. Some of them might be good, some of them might be useless, but we'll never know till we think through them. Look at that. There's something we can use. And now we can use convergence to bring these ideas back together, or the ideas we want back together, to create a suitable response. And there we have it, a response to the issue. We don't need to use the entire issue in our response. This was a complex problem, according to the Kynofin model, and we had to use abductive reasoning to solve it. So, let's now start to look at clarifying the issue itself and looking at the relationships between it and a potential response. So, we have another complex issue. If we manipulate this issue, we find that we have a partial response in there. We're missing two aspects to it. In this case, we're missing an S and an E. Now, if we look at the relationship between the issue itself, the S and E are in issue. It's possible that these aren't actually in themselves issues. As a part on its own, it might not need solving. So if we take this apart and just shift these two letters, we might actually get quite a good response. And there we go. We found a response without needing to brainstorm at all, just by using the relationship between the issue itself and the response. Now we start looking into optimizing the problem. Using the complex cycle, we solve the problem and then we start optimizing to try to make it better. Because we don't just want the first solution we find. We want a good, robust, and often simple solution. Because oftentimes simpler is better. So now, if we just take this back to how it was, or somewhat how it was, we know we have two parts that are missing. We want something here. We want an S and E here. And this is where we can use heuristics. Maybe we should avoid overthinking. We want an S and an E. We have a blank blue space. There we are. Response completely formed. Took moments. No effort at all. Simpler is usually better. Sometimes we need to just avoid overthinking, especially in problem solving. Now, I hope that I've prompted you to think more about complex problem solving and the different methods of doing so, and all the information that this simple tetrahedron can bring. Thank you.